So who and all are really hungry and want to go and grab their dinner? So yes, same here. I'm also very hungry and really want to eat dinner. So I'll not take more than 5 minutes maximum. So yes. So so let's start. So my book. So how many of you really want to know that there is a magical genie in our brain? So do you really want to know about this genie?
Yes.
Yes? So before I get started to that, do I have your permission to tell a little bit about my story?
Yes.
Why am I qualified to write about this? So since childhood, I was a very reserved and a timid person. And I was full of doubts and fears. And then growing up, in 2009, that is when I started my corporate career as a software professional. And life became quite challenging post that. Because after I became a software professional, I was compared to my brother, who was a tech savvy. And then post marriage, I was compared to my husband, who is again a tech savvy.
Wow.
And they were like, "तुमसे इतना भी नहीं होता है? What kind of engineer are you?" So I have heard those labels for quite some time. And then, first of all, I had this low self-esteem, self-image.
Yes.
Go on, bring it on.
Yeah, so post that, like I was telling that before marriage,
वाह मैरिज हमेशा उजाला रहता
वही तो बोला ना, मैरिज के बाद उजाला आता है.
it's my working. So before marriage, I was compared to my brother, and then post marriage, I was compared to my husband, telling that कि कैसे engineer हो, मतलब I had heard those labels, and then I had low self-esteem, self-image. Then in 2016, I was gifted with a beautiful angel. So I have a daughter, and then again they started their question for an identity. मतलब कि तुमसे इतना भी नहीं होता है, तुम कैसी माँ हो? And we all know that post childbirth we go through a depression, and I was like, hey, what is happening? Like it was really like, how can I be so down? Seriously, I used to question myself many a times कि मतलब मैं बचपन से ही ऐसी हूँ या अब भी हो गया या क्या हुआ? Why am I like that? I had those emotions. And then so fast forward, I started my self-development journey. So that is how it was. And then post my self-development journey, वो मुझे कहते थे people around me, तो डूब जाएगी. मैंने उनसे कहा, मुझे जरा तैर के तो आने दो. वो मुझे कहते थे, तुझसे ना हो पाएगा. मैंने उनसे कहा, मुझे जरा कोशिश तो करने दो. वो मुझे कहते थे, तू हार जाएगी. मैंने उनसे कहा, मुझे एक बार जीत की आदत तो लगने दो.
क्या बात है
So my dear friends, वो कहते थे और कहते ही रह गए. So my dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is a super mom of a super daughter, a software professional by career, and a courage and confidence coach by passion, and a best-selling author, Pratibha Dev. Empower Your Hidden Power. It's written on the mysteries of your limitless mind. Like, so I started learning. Why am I like this? Like, why am I behaving the way I am behaving? Why I am thinking? So main thing is why I think, believe, and behave the way I behave. Because I used to question myself, why am I like this? So this book has the concepts about your brain evolution, structure. Why do you think, believe, and behave the way you behave? And what is the reason for this compulsive negative thought patterns? And how to break free from these patterns with tools and techniques, which is very simple. It's written in a very simple language. I have more than 50 reviews in Amazon with 4+ rating. So it's a very simple layman language, easy to read. And then the last, so what I started with, Magical Genie. So yes, this book has a very important concept called RAS, Reticular Activating System, which is literally like a genie in your brain. So most of us have attended events where we can't even hear the next person. But when someone calls you by name, you definitely turn back and see. How? So that is an RAS. So there is a component in our brain, RAS, which is actually like a genie. So if you want to experience this genie, the power of this magical genie, do read my book and grab a copy.